Yes, it's me again. I have managed to dodge Ellie's transporter beam for another week. We'll see how that goes. You are wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us again for another quiz. We're going to jump into it now in a moment. How did everyone get on last week? I hope you enjoyed it. We want to know your feedback. And remember, if you come at us on social media with the hashtag TrekCulture quiz, we would love to hear your ideas for quizzes as well. Okay, so let's jump straight in. Will you join me at the quiz continuum?
TrekCulture's Quiz Continuum.
We are going to go back in time now by 1 or 2 years. I do not want to specify by how many, because we are going to go through one of the most popular Star Trek films of them all. This is going to be a nice mix between a little bit tricky questions and a little bit easier questions as well. But remember, you're only playing against yourself. So just see how you get on with this. You know, there's no pressure. I want you to let us know how you did in the comments below this video. Pop in your total score. I have no way of knowing whether you Googled or not. You will know, and listen, just be honest. Or 15 years from now, a madman will steal a Federation starship and come out... Oh, I'm not supposed to say that. Nothing at all will happen. We are going to be covering, of course, the seminal Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. Shall we begin? Nice and easy one to start off. Question 1. In what century is the film set? Is it A, in the 22nd century? Is it B, in the 23rd century? Is it C, in the 24th century? Or is it D, in the 25th century? You have 10 seconds on the clock. The answer is, of course, B. It's in the 23rd century. That lovely title card opens the film, or at least opens the action of the film. That was then given a loving homage in the first episode of the 3rd season of Star Trek Picard. Question 2. How many Klingon ships appear during the Kobayashi Maru test? Is it A, 2 ships? Is it B, 3 ships? Is it C, 4 ships? Or is it D, 5 ships? How many of you have seen the motion picture? Because they reuse a little bit of footage here. They use the 3 Klingon ships from the beginning of the motion picture and pop them into that Kobayashi Maru test here as well. So the answer was B, 3. Question 3. What's unique about the bridge of the Kobayashi Maru test? Is it A, there's only one set of turbolift doors? Is it B, the comm and the nav stations are reversed? Is it C, there's a no smoking sign on the wall? Or is it D, the consoles are all made out of rocks? Let's see how you get on. 10 seconds. The answer is C. There's a no smoking sign on the wall. And apparently when Gene Roddenberry saw that this was there, he was not happy because according to him, we wouldn't be smoking in the future, so there wouldn't be any need for a sign, which is why it is not on board the bridge of the Enterprise as the film goes on. Number 4. What color undershirt does Lieutenant Saavik wear? Is it A, white? Is it B, red? Is it C, green? Or is it D, blue? The answer is B. She wears a red undershirt in Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. Question 5. 2 former Enterprise crew members now serve aboard the Reliant. Pavel Chekhov is one of them. Who's the other one? Is it A, Kyle? Is it B, Leslie? Is it C, Chapel? Or is it D, Riley? 10 seconds on the clock. The answer is A. Commander Kyle is now stationed aboard the Reliant. I really hope they picked him up at the end of that film. Question 6. Though he received no credit for the role, who played Khan's henchman, Joachim? Was it A. Harve Bennett? Was it B. Merritt Buttrick? Was it C. Judson Scott? Or was it D. Paul Winfield? 10 seconds on the clock. How do you get on? The answer was C. Judson Scott played Joaquin but was not credited for the role because of some higgledy-piggledy to do with agents and listen, it's a whole thing. He did, however, appear in Star Trek again. He appeared in the Season 1 episode of The Next Generation, along with Merritt Buttrick in the episode Symbiosis, and he would also appear as the Romulan commander who took over the USS Prometheus in Message in a Bottle. Question 7. According to William Shatner, what was the original name for Star Trek II? Was it A. Star Trek The Omega System? Was it B. Star Trek II The Undiscovered Country? Was it C. Star Trek II The Vengeance of Khan? Or was it D. Star Trek II The God Thing? 10 seconds on the clock. How'd you get on? The answer was B. Nicholas Meyer originally intended to name the film Star Trek II The Undiscovered Country. The film's title was changed over Meyer's objections, but I think he got the last laugh. Question 8. According to Nicholas Meyer, how old does Admiral Kirk turn in this film? Is it A. 47? Is it B. 48? Is it C. 49? Or is it D. 50? 10 seconds on the clock. How'd you get on? The answer is C. Kirk turns 49 in this film. Aging is a huge theme of Star Trek II The Wrath of Khan, and of course this being the final year of his 40s, and the fact that they had made such a pivot away from trying to look younger in the motion picture all adds to the overall theme of life, death and rebirth in The Wrath of Khan. Question 9. Which of these 4 actors did Nicholas Meyer later cast in his film The Day After? Was it A. Kirstie Alley? Was it B. B.B. Besh? Was it C. Paul Winfield? Or was it D. Merritt Buttrick? 10 seconds on the clock. The answer was B. B.B. Besh. Carol Marcus returned to the Nicholas Meyer-verse in The Day After, which, if you haven't seen it, is not the easiest film to watch. It's good, it's grim. Question 10. What was so unique about Saavik, though it was ultimately cut from the film's dialogue? Was it A. She had undergone Kolinar? Was it B. She was the first Vulcan to graduate at the top of her class from the Academy? Was it C. She was half Romulan? Or was it D. She was a non-commissioned officer? 10 seconds on the clock. The answer was C. She was half Romulan. Now, this was in the script right up until filming, before it was excised. It would explain some of her more emotional moments when you think of she's playing a Vulcan, and also that tear at the end of the film. There's been so much discussion about this in the years since. Though the element was removed completely from the character going into Star Trek III: The Search for Spock, there was plans to incorporate this part of Saavik into T'Pol had Enterprise gone on for a 5th season. Question 11. Who translated the Vulcan dialogue that Spock and Saavik speak to each other? Was it A. Mark Okrand? Was it B. Jack Sowards? Was it C. James Doohan? Or was it D. Jim Povell? 10 seconds. Though Jimmy Doohan did originate some of the sounds for both the Klingon and Vulcan languages in the motion picture, and there's more to it than that, the answer was A. Mark Okrand translated this language in Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. He would of course go on to write the Klingon dictionary as well, which is in fact our editor Tom's favourite nighttime reading book. We all know that when you're making anything, you do your best to keep the budget down. So reusing sets seems like the best way of doing that. So for question 12, the torpedo room was a reuse of a set from the motion picture. But which one? Was it A, V'ger's chamber? Was it B, the Klingon bridge? Was it C, Starfleet headquarters? Or was it D, orbital dry dock? 10 seconds on the clock. Let's see how you get on. The answer was B. It was a reuse of the Klingon bridge. Of course, lots of things from the motion picture were reused into The Wrath of Khan and beyond. Think of that orbital floating office. Well, turn that upside down and you've got regular one. Question for the classic film buffs here. For what film was the backdrop featuring the Golden Gate Bridge that you can see through Kirk's apartment window originally created? Was it A, Bullet? Was it B, Vertigo? Was it C, The Towering Inferno? Or was it D, Invasion of the Body Snatchers? 10 seconds. Give it a guess if you don't know. That backdrop originated in the film C, The Towering Inferno. I can only imagine that that scene on the Collector in Star Trek Insurrection was somewhat inspired by that. Question 14. The new uniforms introduced in The Wrath of Khan have unofficially been called the Monster Maroons. But for what reason? A. The red colours were reminiscent of blood. B. They were a reproduction of an old horror movie costume. C. They were far too warm to wear for long. D. Fans found it incredibly difficult to reproduce them. 10 seconds, let's go. The answer is D. The cosplay community probably has been shouting this answer at the screen there for a minute. The Monster Maroons are easily the most difficult Starfleet uniform to reproduce at home. Question 15. What class of ship is the USS Reliant? Is it A, Miranda class ship? Is it B, Oberth class ship? Is it C, Constitution class ship? Or is it D, an Excelsior class ship? 10 seconds. The answer is A. It is a Miranda-class ship. It had a little bit of a stop-start life. Originally, it was going to be another Constitution-class ship, and then they did a new design that would have seen it effectively turned upside down to what we got, and then, yes, they finally settled on the design that we see on screen, with the nacelles dropped below as opposed to raised above. Question 16. Of these four names, who began their mainstream Hollywood career with Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan? Is it A, Nicholas Meyer? Is it B, Harve Bennett? Is it C, James Horner? Or is it D, George Takei? 10 seconds. The answer is C. Composer James Horner got his big mainstream Hollywood debut with The Wrath of Khan, and pulling double duties, also has a wee cameo as a crewman in the film. Question 17. William Rossler wrote the tie-in novel Star Trek II Biographies to go with this film. What made its first public appearance in that book? Was it A, the year in which the film is set? Was it B, the number of children Sarek of Vulcan has? Was it C, the first name Nyota for Uhura? Or was it D, the revelation that McCoy has a daughter? 10 seconds on the clock. This could be a hard one, I'm not gonna lie. Or you could all be getting it right. The answer is C. This is the first time in a wide public forum the first name Nyota was used for Uhura. Question 18 for the people who really pay attention to numbers. What was the USS Reliance prefix code? Was it A, 14768? Was it B, 16309? Was it C, 19807? Or was it D, 17012? Sir, our shields are dropping. Raise them. I can't! Who would have known that B, 16309 could cause such damage? Question 19, and this is a sad one now. How many people stop Kirk entering the chamber to save Spock? Was it A, 1? Was it B, 2? Was it C, 3? Or was it D, 4? 10 seconds. As you cry, because I will too. The needs of the many. The answer was 3. McCoy, Scotty, and unnamed crewman who decided to hug William Shatner around the belly stop him from entering that chamber to save Spock. Question 20, last question now. Who delivers the final monologue at the end of the film? Was it A, Ricardo Montalban? Was it B, Leonard Nimoy? Was it C, William Shatner? Or was it D, Kirstie Alley? 10 seconds. Though Admiral Kirk delivers a beautiful Admiral's log at the end, just after him, B, Leonard Nimoy delivers the famous These Are the Voyages.
TrekCulture's quiz Continuum.
Thank you so much, folks, for watching along. I hope you enjoyed this. This one is for those Wrath of Khan buffs out there, and just basically for anyone, really, because I just hope you had fun. That's the main thing. Let us know how you did in the comments below this video. This was a fiendishly difficult one, so I'm going to say if you got 7 questions correct, you passed. Although, quite frankly, we just make up the rules every week, so you do you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had fun. A lot of the times, we just have so much fun putting these quizzes together because we find out things, you know? It's good crack that way, so I hope you're enjoying that element. I'm going to give you a little tease for what next week's might be. Mr. Worf, fire. And I shall say no more than that. Folks, make sure that you're following us on the various socials. We are on Blue Sky, we are on Threads, we are on Instagram, we are on TikTok, we are on Twitter, we are on all of them. Type in TrekCulture, you'll find us. Also, we individually are on all of those as well, mostly. Thank you so much for watching along. Please make sure that you share these videos out, because as long as we can give anyone a bit of a laugh, hey, listen, we're having a great time. You are wonderful and awesome. Live long and prosper. I will see you next week. Remember,